Hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk about my personal top 5 most hated tracks in Bloons Monkey City. Now I feel that there are some tracks that players would want to avoid because of how hard and frustrating it is to complete a tile without having to spend external items just to continue or to give a short-term boosts. Diversity on track layout is crucial to any Bloons games, and I am not against such merit. It makes us think about executing different strategies on different tracks. If it doesn't work, then we'll keep trying until we are successful. Unfortunately, there comes a time where players cannot take it anymore and put it aside. Now, before I go on, keep in mind that this is my personal opinion and under certain circumstances you are encouraged to agree or disagree on what I am going to say about such tracks. As long as it is not cancerous, of course. Otherwise, I would go to extreme lengths to delete any such comments. Our number 5 spot is the Arrows track from the desert terrain. Granted, it's not that terrible because it has one entrance, but it has 2 exits. You have to find a spot where the towers will focus on keeping the balloons and blimps from separating their paths. That happens to be the bottom left corner in most cases. You could get away with placing an Arctic Wind Ice Monkey that slows down the balloons when they are trying to go separate ways, but then you'll need other towers that can pop frozen balloons. 3-2 Boomerang Throwers is one of the best example of dealing against frozen balloons. Even so, you also have to worry about Moab-class balloons that tries to get to the exit because it takes hundreds of hits to destroy it. Such a nuisance on round 6 Moabs from regular tiles. Regrow balloons on this track would make my demise happen much sooner, even if I feel that I had a decent defense. This track is one of your worst nightmares in contested territories because spike factories are banned, so the source of DDT destruction would come from the Spectre and Moab Maulers. Both must be supported with the Monkey Intelligence Bureau. Overall, not a terrible track, but I seldom attack on this particular track. Our number 4 spot is the Butterfly track from the heavy forest terrain. It is similar to the Arrows track from the desert terrain, having 1 entrance and 2 exits, but even worse since you cannot use banana farms and have to resort to supply drop farming that is extremely time-consuming in contested territories. Like usual, you need to find a spot where the towers will centralize on that particular spot in order to have the maximum impact needed to fend off balloons and blimps. Again, such a nuisance on round 6 Moabs and regrow balloons on regular tiles. In contested territory, although very time-consuming, you can mass spam spike factories so that DDTs will be popped sooner, allowing you to continue what you have just started. Again, not a terrible track, but I would almost never attack that tile with that track. Climbing the Steps of Hatred is our number 3 spot of Mustache track from the hills terrain. I really hated the track because balloons come from 2 directions, which distracts towers that shoot a single projectile. Not only that, the balloons reaches towards the end where newly spawned balloons are coming from. Towers that involve a projectile or 2 may not pop the balloon that is reaching to the end and pop the new balloon. Even road spikes and Spike Factory cannot get the job done because of balloons overlapping each other. It is pretty hard to explain, but you'll find out when you actually try the track. May the monkey god help you in contested territory and in regular tiles. Having tens or hundreds of Moab-class balloons coming from 2 different directions is too hard to handle. The temple and other towers may multitask too much to the point that the monkeys don't know what to do anymore. Some towers have very small range like the favored tack shooter, which consistently shoots 8 or 16 tacks. And it is best placed in both of the tip of the mustache. I wish the monkeys can use both hands to throw projectiles independently, making tracks with multiple paths slightly easier to handle. Yes, I know Robo-Monkey can do it, but we need more than just that. Claiming the runner-up spot is the Mirage track from the desert track. This is a track that's in Bloon Dunes and not Grassy Pass. This track actually has 2 tracks that do not intersect, meaning there's no ideal spot where the towers can centralize on. It's pretty hard to control since you have to focus on 2 paths where balloons are trying to get through. Let's also add an extra slap to my face because spike factories are banned in desert terrain, meaning I can't even get 2 just to cover the exit. Not a track that I can handle unless I have to use Bloonstones to continue, and also not a track where I can go far with uncontested territory. Fun fact, I couldn't beat a rainbow tile with this track, even with city level 36. Finally, the most personally number 1 hated track is the totem track from the jungle terrain. It is said to be the most difficult track according to Replay Track, where the city cash reward is 1070. Or 1177 with logistical boots. It has 2 entrances and 2 exits. But fortunately, there's one ideal spot where you can place since there's an intersection on the top part of this track. With ice towers banned, you'll have trouble against certain crazy rushes that might overwhelm you mid to late since you can't slow them down. You also get less cash from balloon pops because cash penalty happens far sooner. I haven't find out how soon, but I feel like it'll happen 6 rounds sooner. Again, like Mirage and Mustache, monkeys that throw projectiles may focus on the wrong balloon because there are 2 paths. Even though I hated it, I have occasionally overcome such burdens on this particular track. Well, that's about it of my personal top 5 hated tracks in Bloons Monkey City. I'm sure there are other tracks that I hate but are not mentioned in that list. Honorable mentions also include Talon from the heavy forest terrain, Pickaxe from the snow terrain, Bad Mirror from the lake terrain, Stealth Canyon from the Badlands terrain, and the Kidney Bean from the arid grassland terrain. Some reasons may be similar or completely different on said tracks, but I think I've done enough, unless you want me to swear and rage about that track while playing it. You can leave your personal opinion in the comments below the video. Thanks for watching and have an awesome day.